All right. Okay. All right. Sorry, I fidget a lot. I can't sit still. Okay. Hat forward, hat up, hat backwards. Hat backwards. Okay. So, Mr. Ricky, let me tell you about Mr. Ricky. Okay. Well, let me back up. So, Spring Hill, Kansas, town of 6,500 people. Okay. I have grown my other business there for 8 years. Great community, one of the fastest growing school districts in the whole state of Kansas. But I bought a piece of property because I rent where my other business is, and I wanted to build something for the community. I wanted to build something of office space, if you will, that would cater to some small business owners that kind of struggle making it out there. If, you know, it's hard when you have rent that's $22 a square foot. You're an accountant, for example, and you want to go open up this space, and you know, I mean, you got to hire somebody, you got to hire staff, you've got overhead, you got triple net, you've got all of these ramifications, and it just gets so expensive. So I wanted to have like a Regency Center where my agency was, along with a lot of other small business owners to help them be successful, staff that person at the front to schedule their appointments and field their phone calls, so they don't have to hire somebody and pay them 30, 40 grand a year just to be there. So it was an opportunity for them to grow their business. I am a big believer in helping others, and I have done that for day one, from day one. I believe that if you put in the effort to put yourself out there for other people, I mean, it'll come back, but it's just about doing good. It's about wanting to do the right thing for people. There's been a lot of good things that have happened to me, some bad things that have happened to me, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of people out there that really want a little bit of encouragement, a little bit of support, a little bit of help, and I like to try and be the one that does that. And I think most people that know me know that about me. I will bend over backwards anytime for somebody. But what happened was I bought this property, and at the end of the day, I think the economy was starting to shift a little bit, and it's an acre, and there's this old 100-year-old white house that's symbolic in Spring Hill. It's been around forever, a lot of different businesses. And my wife and I went and had done an escape room a couple years before that. We've always talked about it and stuff like that, but it's like, you know, if we do something, it's got to be awesome, or at least we think it's awesome. And so we always said, like, you know, the business side of it, fun, but the games, kind of tough. Then came along Mr. Ricky. Mr. Ricky, he worked at the kids' school. Great kid, great guy. I mean, he's not that much younger. I mean, faster than him for sure. I mean, probably beat him up. Don't tell him I said that. Okay, he's pretty tough, but I can beat him in almost everything. I'm getting off track. Anyways, I'll get back to that. Long story short, it was the last day of school, and I had definitely decided to hold off on building that. And I'm like, okay, this property's expensive. I'd love to do something with that white house. It was Ricky's last day. It was the last day of school. It was field day. And I remember walking up to Mr. Ricky. Mr. Ricky's what they call him. I always said, anyways, that's from Martin. But anyways, all right, so I said, hey, you know, he told me he wasn't coming back. He does web design. He does all these different things. And I was like, no way, that's crazy. I said, well, hey, check this out. You know the old White House next to Sonic over there in Spring Hill? Because the school's actually in the south part of Olathe, which is not far from Spring Hill. And I started explaining about, like, have you ever done an escape room? And he's like, well, I do them on my phone all the time, and I'm really good at them. And but he does website design, he does t-shirts, he's a jack of all trades, right? So I said, oh my gosh, I pitched my idea to him, right? And I'll be honest with you, I've developed a lot of people in the insurance world and a lot of different things, and I can tell you that 10% of people do what 90% of people talk about doing. So at the end of the day, after I was done pitching my idea to him, you know, I said, hey, why don't you just show up at my office, let's talk about it. Sure enough, that Monday, he showed up because he had made a decision. He was not going back to the school district. He wanted to work for himself, the same vision, ambition that I had once upon a time. I can understand where he's coming from, and I didn't know how for real this guy was, but he showed up. The ability to show up and say, hey, I'm in, let's talk about this. So we did. And obviously half-ass is about the way we do things because it was fun. We always said, let's just keep this thing fun. Let's give the community something to do. Let's check out this house. Let's spend some time together. You know, let's have some beers and let's just talk. You know, let's just see what we can make out of this. And sure enough, we started looking up some different ideas and found some really cool stories, and then built everything from scratch, from the website to the booking, to the rooms, the storylines, the clues, the hints, I mean, you name it. And we were so unique in so many ways, I can't even tell you. You know, we've both gotten to know a lot of people over the years. I can tell you that I think a lot of people really want to come out and support us. And so we had no idea what to expect. It was so funny when we opened the doors. I was like, you know, I have a full-time business I run, and he had weddings to go to the first 2 weekends of opening. And I'm like, oh, so I guess I'll just be here working it, right? I mean, everything that could have happened happened. I wasn't even quite sure we were ready to book the rooms, but people came and people loved it and they enjoyed it. And the smiles we saw on their faces, that's what it was all about. It's not about making a bunch of revenue. Money's a materialistic thing. It's the valuable friendship that we've built and the direction that we are taking this every single day. And I can tell you that, you know, now we have 3 locations with a really big one coming. We don't spend a ton of time on it. We utilize other people that want opportunities. That's our vision, you know. Find people out there that want to try to have a successful business and own it for themselves. And we've done all the legwork. We want to share that with others. You know, we're in Fargo, North Dakota. We're in Mesa, Arizona. We've got our Spring Hill location. We're getting ready to go out to Kansas City, Missouri side. And I can tell you that it's been 19 months since we opened the doors, and we've had well over, at this point, 13,000 people that have gone through those rooms. And a lot of smiles, a lot of fun, a lot of team building, a lot of family, a lot of things that were everything that I was expecting. And it takes me away from everyday life to realize that business, relationships, fun, all of that stuff, it's all there. It's just a matter of literally putting one foot in front of the other. And I think that's the problem with anybody that wants to go out and do something. When people always say to me, oh, that's not going to work, or that's a dumb idea, or I don't really care, honestly. I think that if I'm willing to do it, and you'd be amazed too if you go out there and you have an idea or you have a plan and you literally organize it and you execute it and you stay focused on it and you believe in it, I believe that things can happen for you. It's just you have to be willing to commit yourself, and you have to be willing to put one foot in front of the other and actually do it. So, Mr. Ricky showed up. The next thing, we were best friends. We just started cruising, man. We just had a really, really good time. I've got so many stories to share with you guys, I don't even know where to start. We found out that we're a lot of the same people. There's so many things about us and each other that I don't even know where to start. I mean, we are just funny together. The things that we come up with, the ideas, you know, and we hold each other accountable. So, thanks, guys.